The crew are on edge, stressed and getting on everyone's nerve. It's time for shore leave. What could possibly go wrong, eh? It's time to talk about, analyze, review, break down, theorize, and rant about Star Trek Strange New Worlds 4th season episode, Human Best Friends. Spoiler alert! Hit it! Okay, let's do this. We start as we left off, with Ortegas and Scotty at each other's throats, professionally speaking. But they aren't the only ones, mind. Everyone's on edge, or more precisely, all of our main characters are on edge. Those two, La'an and Spock, and Benga and Chapel, the captain, you name it, they need a break. And how lucky is it that there just happens to be a pleasure planet directly in the path to their next mission, which is a crucial peace negotiation with the Rodaxians.
Cesnar, a tech-free world with an intoxicating atmosphere dedicated to you living your best life.
Did he say tech-free?
Did he say intoxicating atmosphere?
Why is there so much small print?
Why is the crew ignoring all the obvious potential issues with that planet?
Because Nurse Chapel is telling them it's all gonna be fine? And they really want to go? Yeah. Sounds just like what highly trained professional crew members would decide to do. Well, they're going, and that's that. We wouldn't be having an episode otherwise, right? They're going, and that's that. Isn't the best reason to do anything, Commander. On their way down, we learn that both Uhura and Scotty brought their tricorders with them.
Isn't it supposed to be a tech-free place?
Well, it didn't say it was mandatory, though, did it?
I bet those tricorders are gonna come in handy.
Nah, I'm not betting with you, Doc. That's too easy and obvious. Well, Ortegas and Scotty's animosity are starting to annoy everyone else on the shuttle, but thankfully, the intoxicating atmosphere is affecting everyone the moment the doors open. Only for Ortegas to awaken in a strange room with a broken arm and no memory of what happened to her.
Listen, we got to!
No, that's only Scotty in a costume, and he has no memory of what happened either. Oh, great. So episode 1 was a take on Jurassic Park. Episode 2 borrowed heavily from Event Horizon, and now we're getting a remake of The Hangover? Well, we're due for something a little lighthearted, aren't we? I don't mind lighthearted, Commander, but I'd like it a bit more if we stopped riffing on other people's work, you know, so we'd get to watch something original.
Oh, you did enjoy last week's episode though, right?
And the one before that? Yeah, okay, I did. But I'm noticing a pattern, one which I'm not entirely a fan of. Well, the resort's host pops in, gives Ortegas a letter to give to her captain, because he can't find him. Ortegas complains about her loss of memory, he replies that she should have read the small print, and off he goes. Told you there was going to be an issue with the adverse small print. You know, I'm sure you can nitpick every single frame you see, but shall we just try and enjoy ourselves and see where the story takes us? Ah, are you saying I have a choice? Actually, no. You haven't.
Looks like you didn't read the small print either.
So off Scotty and Ortegas go to look for the captain and deliver that letter.
And just like that, the two crew members who hate each other are off on what's going to be a light-hearted adventure where they'll learn to appreciate each other along the way.
Oh, cool! Thanks for the summary, Doc. Now we don't have to watch it. You've no idea the Doc is right, McCluck. I've actually got a pretty good idea, Commander. Okay, well, let's see if you're right, shall we? Whatever the outcome, it's gonna be a weird adventure for sure, though. Like, they go to see Spock, who admits that he's been hallucinating Kirk since his arrival, and lo and behold, as soon as the others leave, there he is, and he's even hugging Spock. Okay, on the plus side, at least Kirk isn't actually there.
Well, that's got to be a plus for the episode, right?
It is from where I'm standing. Kirk should stop being on the Enterprise before his time, is all I'm saying.
Although, technically, he's not on the Enterprise now.
And he's not real either. So, having had no luck finding Pike in Spock's room, they try Uhura's, but he's not there either.
Okay, straight up, this has got to be the most artificially unrealistic pairing I've ever seen. Ortegas was given the letter, so it's essentially her mission. She hates Scotty, but because he's inebriated and wants to grab a blade that's sticking out of the wall for some reason, she decides to take him with her. Then, when they get to Uhura's, Ortegas suggests Scotty stay with her. Makes sense, right? But Uhura declines, saying their vibes aren't hers. These are such weak excuses and reasons to force these two together.
Even when he decides to go to a bar on his own, suddenly Ortegas feels that she has to follow him. The character motivations are a little out of whack in this one for sure.
Oh, you wanna know what's more weird? Oh, it can't be Una singing at the bar, can it? Oh no, that's fine in and of itself. But it's the fact that she's singing a Klingon power ballad, which is, in fact, Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. Rest in peace, Bonnie.
It looks like Shakespeare's plays aren't the only works of art the Klingons stole and made their own during that time period.
Indeed, Commander, but what's weird is that this season has a growing track record of turning into a tribute for those who left us recently. Sam Neill for the first two.
Yeah, he was in Jurassic Park and Event Horizon.
And now Bonnie Tyler.
While you guys get distracted by tributes to people who were still very much alive when those episodes were written, shot, and edited, the Doctor happens to be the bartender.
And he may know where the captain is.
Oh, he does. He's having his arm tattooed, and he's wondering about getting one on his face. Well, it's not like they wouldn't want to copy the Hangover too closely, now would they? Anyway, the message says that the negotiations are coming to them, despite the fact that they weren't due to happen for another 2 weeks. That doesn't really make sense, does it?
No, it most certainly does not.
Anyway, Ortegas tells Scotty to stay with Pike. A sensible suggestion. But Pike will have none of that, and he sends both of them to get the shuttle ready while he gets his tattoo finished. Except the shuttle's not where they left it.
Scotty had the key apparently, but he doesn't remember having it, where it might be now, and what he did with the shuttle, if he did anything with it at all.
Thankfully, they remember Uhura's got a tricorder.
Well, why doesn't Scotty use his own?
He left it on his shuttle, so they get Uhura's. Scotty briefly sees the shuttle via the resort's security network, then chucks the tricorder at Ortegas, who wasn't where he thought she was, so it falls to the next level and smashes into a million pieces. Excuse me, but how stupid do people have to be to make this story happen? This feels like the most artificially forced series of events you could possibly imagine. There's a little of that to be sure. Now, Scotty realizes he now needs to hack the station security to find the shuttle, but he's too drunk to do it. So they're gonna need to rope in someone who isn't drunk.
Oh, I know! Spock.
And he mind melds with a plant, which happens to actually be a computer? Some kind of photosynthetic technology?
You have got to be kidding!
Oh no, not at all! He even sees the security map Scotty was looking for and finds where the shuttle is. It's being used by a bunch of criminals, apparently. Well, wouldn't you know it? Actually, Spock sees everyone and everything as plants, even Scotty on Ortegas. Plus, Kirk's back because apparently Spock thinks he's his human best friend.
That's the name of the episode!
I have to say, this episode feels like someone was drunk when they wrote it, and they loved it so much they submitted it before sobering up. Well, how about our unlikely duo joining up with La'an, who is in a relaxation class, except she wants it to be a fighting class instead?
To the death!
See what I mean?
Okay, well, what if all of this is a hallucination by Ortegas and Scotty?
Come on, they can't do the hallucination shtick twice in 2 consecutive episodes.
Well, at least one was horrific, and the other is, funny.
Keep trying, Doc. This all being an illusion would explain a great many things. Let's see if you're right. So they rope La'an in to try and get the shuttle back because Spock is just too drunk for anything like that. So really, this adventure is the friends you made along the way, except they already were friends to begin with.
Well, that makes sense.
Does it? Good. I'm glad. So they get to those ruffians, La'an beats the leader up, becomes their leader, and now demands Ortegas and Scotty give her something as payment for the shuttle.
What? How does that make any sense?
It really doesn't. So she grabs Scotty's shirt as a prize, and the ruffians rejoice. Okay, Doc, I'm starting to agree with you that this whole thing is a complete hallucination. It's either that or it's an appalling story, so I'm really hoping it's the former. So they find the shuttle, but the operating chip is missing, which is why those thieves couldn't sell it.
Wasn't Scotty the one who had the operating chip?
Apparently, he had no memory of having it.
And isn't the shuttle unable to move without it?
Well, that's what we've been told.
So, how did he get up there behind the billboard?
Obviously, someone had the chip, used it to fly it there, and then went on their merry way. And guess what? It looks like the chip is in Ortegas' cast.
How did it get in there?
So, it was Ortegas all along. Never mind that. No sooner did they find the chip in her cast than they were both kidnapped by a couple of ninja-like assailants. Where did those come from? Well, I did say that they were ninja-like, but it turns out it all was
an illusion.
No, Doc. It was all part of the plan. Apparently, Ortegas and Scotty begged the owner of the resort to keep them away from their shuttle by any means, even tying them up if he had to. Oddly specific.
But the message is still real, though, right? You know, the one for Pike which said that the delegation is coming to them 2 weeks early.
Oh, yeah, that one does seem to be real. So then we get a lecture about not letting stuff that makes us mad affect us and choose not to let it ruin our day. What a load of hogwash.
And then the story deteriorates further as Chapel plays bingo with a bunch of irritated vampires or something, and Lahan's ruffians burst in, so Ortegas grabs her as Scotty does the same with Chapel, and away they go. Come on, guys, all this has got to be an illusion.
Either that, or it's a terrible, terrible script. Well, it's not an illusion, and the whole crew are back on the shuttle on their way back to the Enterprise.
And Pike's got a face tattoo.
And the intoxicating effects aren't wearing off. Why am I not surprised? So it turns out it's the Enterprise who requested meeting the delegation early, and the effects still aren't wearing off as they greet their Rodaxians. Well, they have worn off for Scotty and Ortegas though, as they have a heart-to-heart while repairing the shuttle.
Yes, it affects different people in different ways.
And it turns out Ortegas wanted to be an engineer, but didn't have the head for it, but she was a natural helmsman, whereas Scotty was the exact opposite. What are the odds, eh? Well, about as high as finding a bomb inside a shuttle.
A bomb!
A bomb that reacts to your palms, so if Scotty lets go,
kaboom!
Ortegas goes for help. Haven't they heard of communicators? It seems that technology has disappeared for this episode. And what about all the other engineers in the hangar where they're working? Maybe they all went off for a break at the same time. Yeah, because of course they did. Thankfully, Ortegas bumps into Spock, who is willing to help, even though he still sees Ortegas as a plant. You know, in the nonsensical absurdity of this episode, this was actually pretty funny. And while Spock scans the bomb, he steps on a recording chip which was just lying there on the ground, which contained a recording of Ortegas and Scotty before the entire mess happened, telling them not to take the shuttle to the Enterprise.
Well, a bit late now.
Well, how come no one found the chip until now? It was just there, lying on the floor for anyone to see. Well, they didn't, and they have to get the bomb as far away as possible, so Ortegas and Scotty decide to take the shuttle and fly it away.
With them on board?
Well, Scotty can't let go of the bomb, so yeah. But it's okay. Spock will attempt to beam them away at the moment of detonation. It's a bold strategy. Let's see how it works out for them. Spock's in the transporter room, but he needs an extra pair of hands. How about Kirk's? He's imaginary. Well, him slapping Spock didn't seem imaginary, now did it?
I still think this entire story is imaginary.
So they work together to get Ortegas and Scotty back to the Enterprise. Meanwhile, Pike's messed up the greeting ceremony, but that doesn't seem to matter as the shuttle explodes in front of them, leading to fireworks. Fireworks? In space? Instead of an explosion?
I'm telling you, it's just an illusion, guys.
So Scotty and Ortegas were beamed out just in time. The fireworks impress the delegation and undo Pike's insults, making them willing to begin peace talks. What are the odds, eh? And it's all's well that ends well. Everybody's happy. The bomb was actually a bomb, some insurgents wanting the peace talks to fail or something. Pike will get Doc to remove his tattoos. They agree to do all this again next year. And Ortegas finally gets to appreciate the mess she causes in engineering when she punches the engines too hard. The end. I think there's the potential for a good story in there if it had benefited from a bunch more rewrites and was played straight or something.
The fact it wasn't is what made me think none of it was real, even though realistically they couldn't give us 2 hallucination episodes back to back now, could they? Although one hallucination episode could have been the perfect cover for another.
But this not being an illusion made all the nonsensical stuff be completely and utterly nonsensical. Let's take the big stuff. A group of zealots planted a bomb on board the shuttle to destroy the Enterprise during the negotiations. I would presume that they're also the ones who brought the meeting forward 2 weeks. But how could they have done that? Going to the resort was a spur-of-the-moment decision. They could not have planned it, prepared it, or organized anything.
Unless the resort owner was in on it.
Did it look like he was?
No, not at all.
So that didn't work. Oh, and since when does an explosion turn into fireworks? And not only that, but a specific fireworks to rejoice the delegation. Give me a break. Oh, and on top of that, La'an's reaction made no sense at all, and frankly, I must say, because really, Christina Chung is usually really good, but those scenes were really badly acted.
The ruffians La'an took over made no sense either. Like, why would a resort whose atmosphere intoxicates you and makes you want to have fun have thieves?
But the worst one, really, is Kirk. Okay, we all know you don't like this Kirk. It's not that, Commander. He's fine in moderation, and having him be a hallucination was a great idea. Until it turned out he wasn't, and then it made no sense at all. Okay, he was on the planet at the same time as the rest of the crew. Sure, why not? It's a tiny galaxy. I can even accept the fact that no one saw him except Spock because of circumstance. But then, how did he get on board the Enterprise without no one noticing? Look back at the shots of them in the shuttle on their way back. He's not there. So how did he get on board without anyone knowing? And are you telling me that with a crew of over 200, there was no one else Spock could ask to help with the transporter?
The funnest moment was Spock seeing people as plants.
Totally. Simple joke, well implemented, and funny both times. But what's that? 10 seconds out of what, 45 minutes?
I liked Pike getting a horse tattoo and getting the speech tattooed on his fingers.
What bugged me about Pike was that when he learned he apparently had requested moving the meeting forward, no, I don't care how drunk he was, he should have checked, even if it was just with the computer, and if he was too drunk to do that, he certainly was too drunk to do the ceremony. It felt so unrealistic coming from supposed professionals. But at least Ortegas and Scotty bonded and became friends. I can accept that, except for the really basic concept that they hated each other because they were good at the stuff that the other one wanted to be. Who wrote this? A 10-year-old? And what about the little lesson about not getting stuff that makes you angry get to you? That's exactly what I mean. This episode was written, alright, maybe not by children, I think I was too mean just now, but for children.
So I guess it wasn't for you.
I think from the moment I noticed that this was going to be inspired by The Hangover, I had my doubts. And then the writing and sadly the acting merely confirmed my concerns as we went through the story. It really felt like it was a bad first draft that was rushed to production.
Well, considering this is the first time we've used our revamped gear system, it's not a ringing endorsement for the episode, is it?
I call him as I see him, Gigi.
Well, there goes the winning streak then.
Yep, 2 good, 1 bad.
Still, we have 7 more to go, and they could still turn this around and make this a good season.
We'll see, Commander. We'll see.
And to think, we haven't got to the puppet episode yet.
Please don't. Don't. So, that's pretty much all we have to say about this episode. Do let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll give you the response you deserve.
Because Nurse Chapel is telling them everything's gonna be fine?
Well, it is where I'm...
Listen, we got to!